Hey everybody, welcome back. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm kind of in between projects right now. I've got one that's taking quite a long time, so I figured I'd just bust out a small video with a little project here. I've wanted to do this ever since I completed the snow bases for my Space Wolf Terminators. So I decided, okay, it's time for some Death Guard bases now. What I'm doing here is just want to show you that you can use this with either the miniatures that go on the slotted bases or the ones that glue right onto the base itself. I just snipped off the tab. On some of them, I just decided to go ahead and glue it right back into the base just to have it there. The other ones, not a big deal. So yeah, just cover that up anyway. I'm using the thinner cork sheets here. Normally I use the cork sheets, I want to say it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. I think this is a 1/16 here, but I wanted to do a couple different layers with this thinner cork and see how that looked. And honestly, I was not disappointed. The bigger stuff, the thicker cork sheets, they're really good for say like character models, or if you're doing like a larger diorama. But for just tabletop standard, these worked out perfectly. Now I did something like this a couple years ago with my Typhus model. I didn't really like the way it turned out. I work in restaurants, and I don't know if you've ever seen a grease trap. It looks pretty nasty. I wanted to try and mimic what that looked like, and it seemed okay, but the longer I had it, I just did not like it at all. So I just decided to go with, instead of like something nasty and filthy like that, just go for something toxic and radioactive, whatever. It's not 100% Death Guard, but it looked really cool in the end. So I went ahead and changed him over first, just as a proof of concept, and liked it so much I went ahead and took care of the rest of them, and you'll see him later on in here too. So all right, taking the cheap dollar store super glue, getting that cork on those bases. I'm adding some super glue to that empty area too. That's where the little toxic pool is going to be, and I just put some glue on there just to get that texture, just to cover it up a little bit. It works somewhat. You still see a little bit of texture, but in the end the paint covers it over. So, and this was easy enough to do with both types of bases, both the regular ones and the slotted bases. And the slotted ones, they're pretty much the you get like with the miniatures with the starter sets, because I know a lot of them now they don't have those slots on them anymore with the larger kits. But just fitting him on there. Want to do a little bit of a different type of look on this one. Yeah, the glue kind of sealed the cap shut, so it was almost empty anyway, so I just cut a slit in the bottom of it. Used up the rest of it like that. Gotta love that dollar store super glue. Okay, I did add a little bit of real estate to some of them there. I'm really liking that thinner cork. It just makes it look a lot more realistic than that big thick stuff there. Okay, now it's time to add some bubbles to our ooze. I use these little plastic half pearls. You can get those online. They're pretty cheap. So after that, prime everything black. Just used just a cheap black spray paint. No need to break the bank on that. And then for our base color, we're just using some Citadel Rhinox hide. This is a nice reddish brown, but we're going to add some more red to that after it dries a little bit there. There you go, just a little bit of color. Right, here we go. Little word bearers red, just a heavy stipple there. Goes good with the dark green on some of the Death Guard. And then just dry brushing some Celestra gray. I use this because it's when I start putting the OSL effects on there, it picks up better than it would if you were just to do it right over the brown itself. Who needs a fancy dry brushing palette there? You got your hand. Okay, just getting the edges there. And that'll pick up those greens and yellows from the ooze really well. There we go. Got a little skull on there. Then I'll just hit those with some Stynylrez black. Alright, for the ooze itself, so I'll moot green and to start everything off. A couple layers of this. Just water down a little bit. Okay, there's our base. Then we're going to some Scale 75 Toxic Waste Green. It's more of a yellowish green, but it's a really cool color. But you definitely need more than one coat because this stuff is really thin. And make sure we get some on that skull. I keep on wiping it off the rim of the base, but eventually I rim the base anyway. Okay, some Citadel Teseract Glow. Just putting that into the airbrush. And I really had to clean out my airbrush after this because really started to cake up on the inside and I was getting some pressure issues with it. Yeah, I like to do some of my Death Guard with that, I don't want to say a 30K paint job, but kind of like 35K, where they're halfway to what they are today. Bone white armor looks really cool when you start weathering it up and getting it all nasty. Not the best paint jobs, but focusing more on the bases on this one. I just want to get enough so you can see a little bit of that object source lighting on them. Yeah, these Death Guard are so fun to paint. You just let yourself go and just have fun with it. And you can do it with any model, but the Death Guard, it's just, I don't know, something about them just makes it just so fun to paint them up. So we got a little pin there for the foot. That's the first time I actually hold on to it by the pin. That's just going to help stabilize it on the base. Okay, that's where we have our, just getting some more of that Teseract glow on there. Comes out of the airbrush really, really light. But like I said, I also had to clean out my airbrush big time after this one. It's okay. It got the desired effect though. I think I got more paint on my gloves than on the base. Shaky camera. Alright, then we're going to finish it off with some Flash Gitz yellow. That's just going to blend everything all together there. I was actually thinking about using a fluorescent green, but even after it's done and you put a black light over it, it still looks choppy. I've never really had smooth transitions with fluorescent paints. But these guys are looking really good. Get some yellow on them. Now it's time to drill into the base. Get these guys all attached. I'm just going to hit that with a little super glue. And the hardest thing right here was trying to figure out which guy I actually had set for which base. But it's all good. Now for the slime, we're just going to throw some Vallejo gloss finish on there. You could do this out of the airbrush, but it's just easier just to paint it right on there. Plus you could get it nice and thick if you wanted. Get these guys on here and we're ready for the final reveal. Hey, like, share, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this one. Come back for the next. Hey, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. And check out the playlist on the left for more content. We'll see you in the next one.